digitise word of mouth. How can an app create a lifetime worth of business referrals, Jason?
Oh my word is the answer to that. I had my eyes well and truly opened when I met IAD for the first time, and this thing called Propertips was spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's fair to say, in the time that I've worked in industry, probably the biggest change that I've seen was the introduction of Rightmove.
Yep.
But this, to me, is probably the most advanced, clever thing I've seen in the industry since then. And effectively, it's a proprietary app built by agents that worked in IAD. And what they recognised was there's got to be a way of actually building referrals, monetising it, and actually helping people to gain additional income from referrals and recommendation. Now, this app is open to not just IAD agents, but to the general public as well. And that just blows my mind about the power and the potential of it.
So the app itself started in France because the guys that built it were French. But where's it available now?
App Store.
Yep.
Download it. All of our consultants are skilled in actually talking about the concept, the principle, and actually introducing it to people that they meet. And we call this like my warm list and building it. And this is about leveraging the personal network that you've got, understanding that you have got it, just actually build it, leverage it, use it.
And what's in it for the customer? Why are the agents building it? What are they doing with it?
Because every customer that inputs in 4 easy steps, some simple information about someone that they know who's either thinking of buying, selling or letting a property, it pays them a commission.
And what are we talking money-wise?
Average £420 per transaction.
For a seller's referral, basically somebody that wants to sell their house, pop the details in, go straight to their local IAD agent.
You've got it. So it's a very, very clever app. So what it does is it recognises geolocation and it also picks out the agents with the best reviews. Yeah. So actually the best are rewarded. Those that actually don't deliver great service are lower down the list that are likely to be chosen from.
That's it. And actually, that customer gets some money. But also you as the agent that entered that customer into the system also takes a share of the money as well.
So again,
right?
It's more passive income.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, this effectively, Propertips is almost like your bionic eyes and ears. So, as an individual, you can only be in so many places at once. But if you've got the app being used by multiple people, it's got power for reach is huge. So just to give you an example, last year, the IAD group turned over 526 million euros. 14% of it come from Propertips alone.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic amount. For the business itself. It's been downloaded now by nearly 1 million people. I heard figures out last week, and there's been some great examples of big people that have absolutely rocked it by a real investment into the app. Tell us about one of the stories that you've got of the chap that just is absolutely.
This just blew my mind, Lee. So it was in October. Yeah. Gone across to the convention in France, and this is a real sort of moment of celebration amongst agents to recognise and reward people that have done exceptional things. And this was a guy, Cedric Apostolides, who doesn't come from a woven-in property background, but last year alone, from Propertips referral, he earned over 350,000 euros.
It's just unreal. It's just unreal. And he, I think in his discussion, had given away 75% of the referrals he'd received to the rest of his team, right? Because he just couldn't handle them.
Yep, 25% of it he personally dealt with, 75% of it went to the team that he's built. And that's where the real sort of revenue came from. Yeah. And something else that's a little bit more closer to home, quite not as outlandish on those numbers. So we've got one of the very first agents who joined IAD back in 2008. She's married to an English guy. They live in France, and they've just been building a brand new house. So if you've ever done a project like that, you know it quickly gobbles up all of your money. Yeah. It never sticks to budget, and they've got to the last knockings of their build, and they effectively have run out of cash to put the kitchen in. So they're sort of scratching their heads about, what are we going to do? We've used up all of our savings. We're still short of a kitchen. So the lady in question, Isabel, decided that she would have a look in a Propertips app
in
just
wallet,
to see what was sat in that wallet that hadn't been used. And she found a really sizable chunk of money in there that she hadn't drawn down, she hadn't used, and it was enough to actually get the kitchen done, minus the worktops, which is a great story.
The result, really, it comes out of nowhere like that.
Because if you think of it, moment of need, we've just done all of the cash, we've built this great house, but we can't finish it off and put the kitchen in. The kitchen all of a sudden was built courtesy of Propertips.
Brilliant.
That to me is a brilliant story of its power.
And what does the future hold for the UK in Propertips?
We are a long, long way behind Europe. I guess culturally, we're not as comfortable in terms of talking and giving someone an app.
Yep.
We've got a guy, Frederick, who's our international business advisor, and he was with me today on a session educating our agents that are UK based how to introduce Propertips in a general conversation.
Yeah.
And it was great actually getting someone that could actually deliver the language, the lines that would enable you to actually introduce this into a conversation and effectively give it to someone else. And his words were, you're not selling, you're giving.
It's just an opportunity.
I'm
right?
giving you something to earn some money to actually pay for things that you might want in your life.
And I mean, for the IAD network, obviously the beneficiaries of these business opportunities from this international referral network that's building in the UK have just got endless upside, really.
It's
right?
huge.
In terms
It's
of how this thing builds.
absolutely huge. If you think about the UK as a country, anywhere between 1 million and 1.5 million home sales get conducted each year. Who's to say that Propertips in the right hands, and those hands are our agents, could not seriously get a lot of those transactions coming our way?
Yeah. It's a secret weapon, right? And it's just going to get more and more important to our agents. So, exciting things. Look out, Propertips.
Propertips is the thing.